3, 2, 1.
Why ERP projects are so tough? Why we have to spend so much time, effort, resources on these projects, and at the very end we identify that the end product, the outcome of this project does not meet our needs. Our staff struggles to use the new ERP system, and then we get more resources, more time, hoping that one day this product is going to meet our needs. So these projects by default or in general tends to be over budget, over time, and we feel exhausted completing these projects. Why they are so tough? That's the topic we are going to uncover today. Now, this topic is from the viewpoints of executive group. So we have got target audience, specifically project sponsors, executives, senior managers, and we are going to start with baking a cake. Consider baking a cake as a project. So there is so much activity, getting the right ingredients, following a recipe, baking at the right temperature, as all these the project activities that undergo to get the final outcome, which is a beautiful decorated cake. We cut that cake, put that on our plate, taste it to determine how well the project was executed. So the feedback of this specific project comes at the very end when we taste a slice of the cake. Unfortunately, ERP projects tends to follow the same pattern. So if we we place these projects into a timeline, there are generally 5 stages of these specific projects. So we start with planning, design and development, then we follow testing, deployment and final closure. And up till testing, there tends to be a good news. So we don't receive much feedback, or we receive positive feedback that everything is fine, we are progressing, the team is making good progress. And when we hit the end user training or just before end user training, all these random surprises pop up, and then we need more time, more budget, and this vicious cycle is almost never ending. And that's where projects goes out of budget, out of timeline. We feel literally exhausted as the project sponsors, as executives. So the key problem here is delayed feedback. We do not receive feedback earlier enough. If there is a problem and I am aware of that problem, whether it's a resource problem, product problem, budget problem, logistics problem, if I'm being made aware of such issues, problems in planning stage, design stage, then I have got this opportunity to deal with such problems. However, up till deployment at the very end, everything tends to be just fine. So the core problem here is delayed feedback or no feedback. Now the question is what we can do about it. Here are a few suggestions, and I will encourage you to think deeply about each of these suggestions and see what actions you can take. The first one is direct feedback. So as an executive, as a project sponsor, seek direct feedback from your project manager. That can be project status reports. So a weekly, fortnightly project status report coming directly from your project manager or project managers or program manager. Then we have got steering committee meetings, other committee meetings. So proactively seek direct feedback, ask questions, and make it more formal, direct feedback that you and your executive team requires. Then we have got indirect feedback, where you are seeking indirect feedback from the staff, project team, vendors, and that can be in the kitchen, near the water cooler, via email, it does not matter. But this is indirect, informal feedback that you seek to really see what's going on in the project earlier enough. Then we got independent feedback. So you can choose to have a project assurance, an independent consulting company helping you to understand and oversee how the project is going and help you to get that feedback earlier enough so we don't know the problems which were there already. It's just those problems are not being evident at the earlier stages of the project. Project control gates. So you can set certain tightly managed control gates where we say, before we move forward to the next stage, I want to have a formal approval of these deliverables. And unless those deliverables are not fully approved, we are not going to go ahead. And that will help us when we move from planning to design and develop. We are fully aware that all the right stakeholders are engaged, they are happy with that stage before we move to the next stage. So work with your project manager and have those formal implementation of those control gates. Then encourage transparency, where if there is a problem, you encourage, there is a culture of being transparent. Every document or the entire document set of the project is somewhere central, anyone can access it. There are no hidden meetings. All the meetings, everyone is aware, these are the project status meetings, they are executive board meetings or steering committee meetings, and the whole execution is very transparent. And if people have problem, they raise hand. We've got enough whistleblowers who can tell us wherever there is a problem or a potential problem or a risk. And last but not least, it is a joint responsibility. So if you are a project sponsor or executive or a director, it is not just your responsibility, but as an executive or a sponsor or a manager or senior manager, it is your responsibility to let everyone know that you are also responsible to seek direct, indirect feedback from your team, from your stakeholders, and share that feedback at the right sort of hierarchy. So these are a few suggestions, and these suggestions are going to help us know the problems which exist already, but no one is proactively reporting about them. So we know problems earlier enough so we can work collectively to resolve earlier in a project, and we've got little or no surprises at the very end of the project. I hope you find it useful. And if you have any questions, please reach out. My name is SP. I'm from Bhani Consulting. We partner with medium-sized businesses, understand your business where you are right now, where you want to be in future, and help you driving the technology layer so you can be more mature from a digital aspect and improve customer experience, efficiency, make a difference. With that, I take your leave. I hope you find it useful. Please reach out if you have any questions. Until next time, bye now.